Okay, so with Purim approaching, and it's close enough, we're looking for something Purim related to talk about. And just to mention, last year we spoke about one interesting thing related to Purim was the question of why we don't learn the Megillah in other languages when it's an often a Mishnah that one can. Bit of an interesting subject. We also spoke about causing hezek on Purim and other Yemei Simcha and whether there's a Ptur. So I'd like to talk about something related to Purim this time as well. But this time it's about a related, Taka Purim related, in the sense that it's about the minhag we find in many kehillas back in the day, that they'd essentially come up and invent their own Purim. They'd add their own Purim to the calendar on their own. Back in the day when I was reading children's books to myself, now I'm already reading them to my children, but back in the day you see the books that collect the Purim stories, so often they also have a section of the other Purims. All right, we talk about the other Purims as well, what the Nisim were, what the stories were. I think the most famous one, perhaps, I don't know if anybody here knows it, is Purim Saragossa. Anybody familiar? Purim Saragossa, famous story. The way it goes more or less nowadays is that Saragossa is in Spain, and it happened sometime around the year 1400 that the king used to visit the Jewish community. They used to bring the Sifrei Torah out to greet him, the Svardisha Sifrei Torah, the cases. And at some point they decided, why are we schlepping the Sifrei Torah out? You can't tell the difference, so we might as well leave the actual cloth, the actual Sifrei Torah in the Aron. We'll take out the empty cases, no one will be the wiser. But then some Meshumad got upset at the community. He went and told the king, tipped him off. The king was furious. He decided he's going to come and visit, and he's going to put them on the spot. And the night before, they had a mysterious dream to put the Sifrei Torah back. And they did it. They didn't even tell anybody, but they did it. And then when the king put them on the spot, everyone held their breath. They thought it was the end. And they opened the Sifrei Torah, the cases, and the Sifrei Torah were there. And the Meshumad had a Miyas Asaf. So that's the story. That's the Yom Tif, and if you're familiar with it, you may be familiar with the fact that there also are Megillah Saragossa. You look it up online, you can find pictures of written on cloth, Ksav Ashuri. Before I get to what I want to talk about, since I'm mentioning this episode, so I actually wanted to check what are the actual sources for this Purim Taka, Purim Saragossa. Right, what's the earliest mention of it? When are the Megillas from? Are they old? You know. So I ended up stumbling on a book by a historian. His name is Elliot Horowitz. He wrote about Purim-related things. And there in chapter 10,